rolling. Okay, this is the Can't Tell Me Nothing podcast, episode 1. My name is Try.
My name is Engerson.
We're just two broke dudes with a lot of things to say, and pretty sure you can't tell us nothing. This is like our third time trying to make this run, and the dog was coming in, the kids was yelling because my apartment, and we
had a couple restarts right now trying to just get this run going.
Fuck, eventually I hope we get a studio, because if it's going at this rate, I'm gonna get real frustrated, and I just be like an angry Asian every episode. But yeah, so we got a lot of things to talk about. There's a lot of things happening in the sport world this Saturday, Sunday, and then today, man, it's a whirlwind of news. I just got off work and I was like, oh shit.
Weekend, man.
Dak just signed a new contract. Didn't see that coming.
Out of nowhere.
Blake is the Nets. Fuck. Okay, so where do we start?
Well, let's take it light. Let's start with the UFC.
The UFC?
That's
Saturday? Let's go. Let's work our way up. Saturday.
Yeah,
then we go to Sunday. Then we go, okay, cool. So UFC 259. Got a cool story to tell you about that. So I posted something on IG. And I was essentially saying like, my girl Nicole only bought this pay-per-view because Amanda. And guess who saw it? I tagged Dana and he saw it.
You seen it?
He saw the story. Fuck. I don't know if I don't have it anymore. But he saw the story. So Dana, if somehow you watch this, we bought the pay-per-view because of Amanda. And the GOAT, yes. So it was a weird night. Weird fucking night. I don't know how to judge that card. If you watch the prelims, there was a lot of good fucking fights. And then the main 3 fights that we're going to talk about is the 3 championship fight. Fucking weird.
I won't cap. I didn't catch a lot of the prelims, but the main events, I caught them. And I mean, I wasn't really too shocked. I guess the only thing I was shocked about the whole, what's his name? Peter Yan,
yes.
That's the whole thing. That was what I was really confused.
Yeah, okay, so
he was beating dude up the whole fight.
So yes, so we're gonna talk about the Peter Yan and Aljamain Sterling fight. Okay, so that's the first of the 3 title fight. And Alja won via disqualification. If anybody who never seen the UFC or don't know the rule, if a person's down and their knees touching the floor, you can't essentially knee them in the face or kick them in the face. And there was some crazy shit that came out after the fight. Yes.
And that's where I was personally confused. I was like,
right.
In the UFC, when people are down, they could basically
right
punch their head in, but you can't knee them in the face.
Right. Yeah, no, you can't do that. So there used to be you used to be able to do that back in Pride, back in the days. They were stomping people, they were soccer kicking. So they took that out just to kind of eliminate the whole. Yeah.
Nobody on the ground.
Right. And you kind of like if you looking at it from the UFC perspective, like if you want to be like a big sports entertainment, you all your sports are really violent as it is. Like you try to
still somewhat protect
right
the fighters.
Yeah, and you have to minus out like the sketchy stuff, like soccer kicking some guys in the head. Nobody want to see that.
That's true.
You go to WWE to see that fake shit happening when Randy Orton was kicking dudes side off the head, but that was fake. So it's you can't really realistically do that. So yeah,
you could really hurt somebody.
Like
that in the head.
And
I guess that makes sense.
And okay, so if anybody who haven't seen the fight, Peter Yan basically dominated Aljamain Sterling the first, second, third, and essentially leading up to the DQ. So he was beating him on the feet, couldn't really take him down, was very lazy with the takedown, just so lazy. He was tired. It was labor of a takedown. Sterling, yes, I'm talking about Sterling.
Like I was looking at, that was one of the fights I was in and out of it. My girl was like messing with my hair, trying to twist my hair. That's a different story. But anyways,
all right.
Yeah, I was in and out, and he just looked like he was gassed from the first.
He was gassed. Yeah, he was getting pieced up on the feet. It's kind of a shame just because obviously by the end of the fight he didn't want to take the title essentially, which is a good thing because he didn't.
That title, fuck it.
Yeah, you a pussy. That's why. Okay. Nah, when he threw that title down, I was like, yeah, you leave that title there. And shit don't belong to you. Based on the rule, it's dumb. I don't agree with the fact that he won the title because there was a DQ. I think you let that be a DQ. You take the title away from the champion. and essentially you vacate the title and then have a rematch or something like that. I don't think I don't know. It's weird because
I think that would have to go like case by case, because like in that sense,
right,
Peter Yan was winning the whole fight.
He was destroying him.
Yeah, so I could see why Sterling wouldn't want to take the title from the DQ, because he didn't really deserve it. But
yeah,
in a case, say it's a title fight and someone like, what is something you can't do? Let's say they need somebody in the nuts. You can't need nobody in the nuts.
Right.
So let's just say they need somebody in the nuts and they get disqualified.
Yeah.
But they're not winning the whole fight. Like, why would the...
No. I agreed. I definitely didn't think Sterling did enough to win that fight, even if he lasted another round, which is the 5th. But yeah, so a very interesting piece. Daniel Cormier talked about it on the broadcast, but they were talking about how Yan team essentially kind of fucked that up, because one of the coach was telling him, no, you can't kick him or knee him. But then one other coach said, yes,
Yeah, they was
go.
encouraging. That's what Khabib was saying too.
Right. So it was very weird. If I was Yan, I have a very hard conversation with the corner, because as a professional fighter, you have to know the rules. And if any of you don't really watch the UFC that well, but the referee meets the fighter in the locker room before the fight. They go over the rules and what they expect and before you actually head to the cage. So every fighter has to know. It's kind of like when you playing football and somebody threw a flag and you're like, wait, what? Like,
yeah, like
I mean, they do complain all the damn fucking time, but like, if that's a PI, it's a PI.
I could see the confusion though, like for someone who's like me, I'm just a casual UFC fan, so not knowing why, but like,
right,
for them that are the fighters in the ring, like you guys know the sport.
Right.
This is like a
me as a long time, like over a decade watcher, I'm like, whoa, that's illegal as fuck.
Yeah,
you just took and another thing is, a lot of people on the comments say Aljo is acting. Did you get that sense that he was acting, like he was faking that shit?
What, faking being sad or faking?
No, faking that he got hurt and that he wanted to continue, but he couldn't continue. Like faking.
I don't think they would have continued it anyways, because that's like one of those blows where it's like an automatic DQ usually. Anyways.
Right. Closer to the mic. But yeah, but I mean, there's a lot of people saying that, like, there's some people who say he didn't even get kneed. I was like, that's wild. No, he got kneed in the face.
Nah, he for sure got.
He got kneed in the face. It was good. It was a good choice, because I don't know what else he could have done. Like, if he got up, the fight continued, he's gonna get stopped.
It was gonna stop eventually.
Yeah. So I guess it played out exactly how it should have played out.
Rules is rules, though. I mean,
right.
He still should have lost that fight, but rules is rules. I mean, you can't. It's for the safety. He could have. I don't think he really need him that hard, to be honest. But
right.
If he need him hard enough when he was defenses like that, like you could have killed him.
Yeah.
So I mean, I could see why they stripped him of the title.
No, yeah, he could have
get a rematch. Though.
He could have need him. Yes. For me, it was kind of weird. It's like, why was Yan asking his coaches for instruction? It's like, as a fighter, I get it. Like, there's a lot of going on. Like, your adrenaline's kicking in. You can't really think fully, But like, shouldn't you know the fucking rule not to knee a guy? And you kind of see that both his knees down. I don't even know why you gotta ask. It's just one of those things where it's like, as a fighter, you gotta know what you're dealing with. You gotta know what you can do and what you can't fucking do. Exactly. So
this wasn't his first UFC fight.
No, yeah. So he was acting brand new. Like, what should I do? What do you mean what should do?
You should have just punched him.
Yeah,
like
punched him.
Else normally does.
Pull his ass back up on the tie clinch and then knee him when he's up, not knee him when he's down. So that's kind of sucky. Just because he put up such a good performance, man. He was piecing him up in every sense.
So then what happens now if Sterling, in this next fight, whether it's a rematch or he fights somebody else for the title?
No, they're rematching.
Oh, the rematch?
Dana came out. They're rematching for sure, and is going to try to make that fight as soon as possible, which, yes, you have to.
Yeah, I would assume it would be literally on the next
next.
Probably the next UFC card. What is it?
Not next. No, not not on 260. Like they're gonna have to fit them in like May or June. Like eventually, these guys are gonna have to go like on a
2 or 3 or 3 or 4.
right on a like they because after every fight you got to go on a suspension like to it's like a rest thing required.
Yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. They would have to take that little rest period, but
Right.
as soon as they're eligible to fight, I would assume they're gonna be on the next card.
Yes. So yeah. So
right, yeah, it's not football or basketball. This is fighting. Your body needs to recover.
yeah, no.
Yeah,
I don't plan on seeing that fight happening for another 3-4 months. He did get knee in the head, which the scan came back saying there was nothing wrong with him. There was no detection of concussion. So although the knee was pretty bad, he was not concussed. Based on the medical reports. Based on the medical.
Guarantee every time you get hit in the head,
right,
you don't get concussed. So I mean, that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I would be glad that nothing happened. I mean, we wouldn't want him to come back with a bad head injury or being concussed.
Right.
Then that would be worse than just getting kneed in the head.
True. All right, so with that fight over, yeah, it was just fucking weird. So it's like, you know, we pay money, and I don't even care about the money, but like, it's just it was built up to be like 3 top main event, and I had real big expectation for that fight, and it just ended so weird. But yeah, so going on to the next fight, fucking the GOAT, the fucking GOAT. You know what? I gotta think, like, since this is like women's, you know, National Women's Month, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. The UFC, okay, I don't know if you know well with the UFC structure, but before any pay-per-view fights, they do like a little countdown, right? So they usually do the countdown for the co and the co-main event and the main event, right? And then like, so the slot for the Izzy fight had like 15 minutes. The slot for like the Aljo and Peter Yan had like 10 minutes, and then like fucking the greatest of all time had 8 minutes in that whole countdown show. Like the little disrespect of like no type of media for her was a shame.
She's really been on a tear though since she was the one that knocked out Ronda.
She rocked out. Right? Okay, she knocked out Holly, destroyed Ronda.
She destroyed Ronda, and after that, it was
destroyed Ronda, and she murdered Cyborg. Which is the person who the UFC created for that 145-pound division for, essentially. And she came up, moved up from 135, destroyed her, held the belt, defended ever since. And it's looking like she's going to bounce back real soon because she didn't take any damage and defend the 135-pound. Looking like it's probably going to be Pena, Julia Pena right now. But yeah, that fight, what do you think about the fight?
I don't think it was close.
Clearly.
There's no way Megan Anderson, I think that's her name. There's no way she was the top contender.
No. So she is. Okay, she is because the 145 the 145-pound division was created for Cyborg because there isn't no other girls that of her size, and there's not a lot of skilled girls in that division. So the contenders are like lacking.
Punches in there. They're not really.
Huh?
They're not really experienced like with the ground and pound of MMA.
No. It's not. I wouldn't say that they're not experienced. I'm just gonna say that they're not like the top of the top. It's not like they're not top of top. Okay. They're top of the top of that division. I get you. But the talent in that division is like comparing like G League to the NBA. You know, like
do a better comparison. We'll say like the Eastern Conference to the West.
Yeah, exactly. So the West is just it's so heavy. Much fucking better. Yeah,
it's top heavy in the East.
Yes, the 145
girls in there, and then the rest are just like
right.
Okay.
So
I get you.
So the 135 is much tougher of a weight class for Amanda, but man, she destroyed Megan. Megan is tall. Megan had a 3-inch height advantage, 3-inch reach advantage. Megan's actually a really tough girl. She stopped the last 2 opponents.
She got her ass whooped though.
But she like she had no chance. Coming into the fight, Amanda was like a minus 940 or something favorite, which which is like insane. Like they gave Megan essentially like 0 shot of winning. 0 shot of winning.
I gave her 0 shot when I see.
Yeah, no, Nicole was real fucking nervous. She's like, oh my god, like Megan is so fucking big, like Megan's gonna win this fight, and I was like,
you must not know who Amanda Nunes is.
Nah, Amanda Nunes is a fucking monster, and she deserved to be amongst men. I always check the UFC ranking, and they used to do like a pound for pound list. They still do. They still do. But for some reason, they took out the pound for pound list amongst amongst men and women. So now it's only pound for pound for women, and then yeah. They used to combine it.
Make a co-ed list.
Right. So the UFC is gonna need to bring that shit back, and they're gonna need to put Amanda either 1 or 2 because she deserved to be up there 1 or 2 amongst all men. Amongst all men.
The only person you could put over is who it could be.
If you're gonna count Khabib being retired, I guess you would put John Jones, but John Jones don't have a title, so it's like
John Jones getting too much trouble. We don't even know when he gonna really fight again, especially since Izzy lost.
Yeah. Okay, so we should tie into so we put a cap on that Amanda is the shit, and then we're gonna go to the next fight, which is the Izzy and the Jan. So yeah, it's now that Izzy lost, the fight with John it's not happening. But let's not. Should we talk about the actual fight first before we talk about the John factor?
To be honest, that fight was a little underwhelming.
Yeah,
in my opinion. Yeah, low key.
It was weird.
I expected it to be more of a, I guess more of like a shootout in a sense, like a back and forth. But
right,
I don't know the other dude's name. I can't pronounce it.
Jan Blachowicz. Blachowicz.
He was.
I think I'm saying that shit right.
He's pretty much like controlling the whole fight.
Right.
To be honest.
So
if we being real.
So that fight really showed you the approach that Izzy had was a wrong approach. So he came into the fight moving up from 85 to 205, which is a 20 fucking pound difference, right?
A big difference.
That's a fucking.
It's not a 195.
No. There isn't.
It's just that jump. It's that big.
It's a 20-pound jump.
That's a big jump to take.
And look, his approach is like, all right, you know what? I'm just that fucking good. I'm gonna move up without even putting on any weight. I'm just gonna come in walking around my regular weight. I'm not gonna fucking lift. I'm not gonna bulk up. I'm not gonna do anything because leading up to the fight, he said he cared about the speed the most, and he didn't want to lose his speed. So if he was gonna bulk up and like gain some meat, he think that he was gonna lose.
Pause.
Huh? Okay. Yeah. So he thinks that he was gonna lose his speed, which he thinks speed was going to be the ultimate factor between Jan and him because he thinks Jan's slow. So he didn't fucking bulked up. You can tell by the second round, as soon as Jan got him on the cage, threw him down a little bit, it took no effort.
It was a wrap.
It was a wrap.
And
I was like, damn, like as soon as that happened, I was like, fuck, Izzy is weak compared to Jan.
It wasn't as bad as Nunes' fight, how she was just beating on old girl and throwing her on the ground like she was a rag doll, but Izzy was low-key getting manhandled. And like it really wasn't as close as I thought it was gonna be. I thought it was gonna be a closer fight, like maybe a split decision. Did it go all 5 rounds?
No,
I don't remember.
Yeah. No, it went 5 rounds. It went 5 rounds. It went 5 rounds. The last 2 round. The last 2 round. He just laid on him.
Exactly.
The last 2 round, he laid on him. Because that was the smart thing to do. And the thing is, Izzy. I felt like Izzy was a little gun shy. He could have done a lot more. He could have approached the fight a lot better, but he was very gun shy and it was very pushing back and holding back. I'm not sure if he was like a little nervous about Jan's power. Like if he wasn't like, he was thinking like, maybe I shouldn't go in and I should wait for the counterattack because Jan, hit him a few times, and you can tell in his face he's like, "Ooh, I don't like this feeling."
He looked like he had a little stage fright. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
I won't say that, but he just looked like he wasn't ready for those lights. In that one fight, and I mean, everybody has bad nights.
Nah,
like
I wouldn't say
a bad day at the gym. Everybody has those days.
Yeah, I wouldn't say he's nervous. I think he was. Jan shocked him with the strength and taking him down. He had no fucking shot of defending any takedowns.
That 5-pound difference.
20.
No, but I'm talking about what they weighed in at.
Oh yeah.
Was, that 5 pound difference might as well have been.
Yeah, but I mean,
to be honest.
they weigh in one thing when they're actually walking into the fight. It's a completely different.
Yeah, they might gain an extra 2 or 3 pounds or lose.
No, they gain a lot more. They gain a lot more. I mean, I think Izzy probably just walked in at 200. Same.
They say Jan was at like
Jan had to cut
206.
Yeah. Jan had to cut down to 205. So I'm thinking when Jan was in there, he's probably like at 220. He was
in the actual fight.
Yeah. No, the thing is they gotta cut down. They gotta cut a shit ton of water weight down. So by the time they're fighting, like that shit is nuts.
Izzy, I don't know. He probably should have picked to jump up. He should have fought somebody else.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah. So I'm guessing we're not getting the John Jones and Izzy, but just by watching that, I'm like, fuck. The whole time I was like, if this was John, he's dead in the water like by third round.
Who you think, Jan?
No. I'm saying if John was fighting Izzy would have been done by the third round. Okay. John Jones is a big fucking boy.
And he got a super long reach.
And yes, super long reach. So Izzy don't have that advantage. And 2, wrestling, John Jones is a much better wrestler than Jan. He would have took him down. He would have beat him till the sun don't shine. Like, I was have you seen John Jones lately? That man put up on a lot, man. He looked like he been eating nothing but steak and more steak.
And he stopped doing coke. He would have made light work of Izzy.
Yeah, I don't know about he stopped doing coke. John Jones probably a few lines in his off days. All right, I don't think
he got in trouble for it. So
but he's not.
You gotta stay clean right
now.
Yeah,
but it's not like when he got popped for
DUI or whatever it was.
No, for enhancing drugs. Like that shit lasts.
Oh no, yeah.
That shit lasts a little longer. Coke, it can last. You can erase that shit by the time you. But then they do get random drug testing.
Why?
So
quote unquote random.
Right.
When that drug test gonna pop up.
Yeah. So so that fight doesn't look like it's happening, although they're saying like they want it to happen in December. I don't fucking think it's gonna happen. Just like Izzy would need like 2 years just to gain a lot of weight and bulk up.
I could see that fight happening just for the fact John Jones' last fight, he got in trouble, right, for doing the coke, if I'm correct.
No, that was a long time ago, bro.
So what was his last fight?
No. He's been through the trouble. He's good.
So, but when was his last fight?
His last fight was against Dominic Reyes.
That was
like almost fucking 2 years by now, maybe two little bit over 2 years, something like that.
I can see them.
But he's moving up to heavyweight. It's a thing. So that's why I'm saying this fight isn't gonna happen because
if he was staying, then maybe.
Right. He's not. He's not staying at light heavyweight. So there's no way Izzy can fight him at heavyweight just because Izzy can barely handle light heavyweight. Like John is gonna be like what 40 pounds fucking over like him.
What are heavyweights like 230?
Like over like usually 240, 250. Izzy walking around 200.
Oh my God, them heavyweights with choke slam.
Yeah, so man, I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen at all. And if it does happen, well, shit. I got my money on John Jones. I usually don't like to bet on fights just because it's such an emotional sport. I'm already fucked up in the head. I'm sitting here almost having a heart attack. Like I can barely drink. My hands freeze up. It's all sweaty. And if I'm betting on the fight too and I lose, I lost. My fighter lost. And I lost money. So I don't like to bet on fights. But if they fight, I'm putting all my money on John Jones.
I would bet on John Jones.
Yeah.
I bet on any fight. And Amanda Nunes. And that's probably about it.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for the UFC. We're going to take a little fucking break. I got to shut up my fucking dog that's barking upstairs. And then we're going to get back into the other two. We got to talk about Blake, and we definitely got to talk about Dak. So be right back. All right. And we're fucking back. Had to deal with some interruption. Yeah. I definitely cussed out a few kids right now just to try to do this podcast.
He didn't cuss out no kids.
I didn't cuss out no kids, but I definitely said.
With him. He didn't cuss out no kids.
What did I say?
He said something. He was like, "I'm trying to record or something. If you guys could keep it down, that'll be fucking great."
Yeah. The kid looked at me like,
laughing. That shit was funny.
the fuck? And I'm like, please shut the fuck up.
In his head, that little kid was probably like, "Suck my dick."
Man, yo, you don't understand. I fucking hate these kids. All right. Anytime I call, I can get to call on them and be like, yo, get the fuck away from my house and stop shooting water guns and screaming bitches down the street and have my dog bark at you.
They probably think Troy is a Karen now.
I am a fucking Karen. I'm the fucking Karen version of a guy. Like, I swear to God. I don't want no kids running around in front of my house with shooting water guns, throwing fucking balls at each other, kicking soccer balls, yelling at each other, saying, fuck you, and blah, blah, blah.
Get the fuck away from my house.
I'm like, dude. Like, I fucking pay for this shit. Like, I don't want to hear this shit all day. I'm trying to fucking record a podcast and these fucking kids out here.
It's different when you pay your own.
It's different, man. And then it's different. It's different because, like, we got two, we're going to get back to the sports shit, but we got two noise complaint. First thing moved in, right? And we're like, what the fuck? Like, we're not even playing loud music. There's literally just me and Nicole. One day we had, like, a friend over. We were playing music, and somebody fucking called noise complaint on us, and we kept getting noise complaint. So I was like, you know what? How do you deal with noise complaint? You fucking complain back.
But they got their little nut ass kids out here.
Right, these little fucking cockroaches are so fucking annoying. They're like a little fucking ant that I just want to like fucking flick. Bye, bitch, bye.
He obviously hates kids.
Like, man, if one of these days I can just be like, Timber, attack. Like, kind of like when, like, in Avengers where they're like, Hulk, smash. Yeah. Sometimes, like, they kick the ball in here, right? And the other day, I was so fucked.
Give him the ball back.
No, fuck that shit. I think I let Timber bit one of the ball one time, but
you see how he do it?
Get the fuck up the phone.
Act like he wasn't a kid.
The other day, there's two kids fucking jumped in my neighbor's back patio. And I saw that shit, and Timber saw that shit, and Timber's like, the fuck? And I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, you can just jump on people. I was like, thinking in my head, I was like, I hope these kids jump in the backyard. I will open the door, and I'll be like, Timber, assemble, attack.
His dog wasn't
gonna I was gonna let the dog on him, huh?
His dog wasn't gonna do nothing but.
Yeah, he just probably jump on him and lick him and be like, I want to fucking play soccer with you too. Exactly. Let's play soccer. Let's kick some balls. He'd have
been the only 24-year-old dude that's acting
talk
like
closer to the fucking mic.
He'd have been I'm as close as I can get. He'd have been the only 24-year-old dude that'd be acting like a 60-year-old old white man. I
feel like I am an old suburban white man. I feel that way. I fucking complain like I complained today. I called, complained today. I fucking complained the other day. I went to the office and fucking complained. I was fed the fuck up. Anyways, so we're going back to sports.
Where we on?
We're on Blake. Yes, Blake is officially a fucking Brooklyn Net.
I got him in fantasy.
You got him in fantasy? Okay.
Yeah,
I'm a little nervous. Like, the Nets are making moves, and my Lakers is getting old. Just old. What are we doing?
I think the Nets, even if the Nets didn't get Blake right now, I still think they're the favorites.
Right.
But you can't sleep on LeBron and AD.
I know you can't, but
LeBron James and AD.
Look.
I mean,
you can't, but like you gotta understand how fragile AD is, man. That man got the injury record on him is worse than our friend Henry criminal record. I'm sorry. Hey, that was mean. Okay, I'm gonna take that one back. Yeah, I'm gonna take that one back and put it in my back pocket over here.
No, we're leaving that one.
I'll take that out the back pocket one of these other days. But anyways,
I'm for sure leaving that in there.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, no, he's man. I don't know. Like, and now it's an Achilles thing. Yeah, I know he didn't tore it, but it's around there. And you know, when KD had his shit, they were like, no, it's not the Achilles, and then it was the Achilles.
Yeah, but KD was hurt, and he just came back too early. You see what AD, like, he was hurt. They brought him back, and then he got hurt again, basically.
Right.
Re-injured the same thing. So they said they're going to sit him out.
Right.
They said at this point, they're going to sit him out.
To the playoffs.
Not to the playoffs, but until he's healthy.
Right, like, which is the playoff.
Damn near probably.
I'm not playing that man until the playoff. There's no reason playing.
That's gonna work.
But I mean, we're probably gonna be like with a 7 or 8 seed by that fucking time. I mean, we gonna be all right. We gonna make the playoff.
The Lakers are like the 2nd or 3rd seed in the West. They're not about to drop that low to the 7th or 8th. What are you?
I mean, but Caruso better be balling then.
The Lakers are gonna be fine.
I know the Lakers are gonna be fine, but man, the Nets with Blake, I think people are sleeping on Blake. This morning we were watching fucking Max Kellerman talking about how shitty Blake is, and I'm like, man, do we not forget? Like, I know Blake don't got hop anymore, but he had a jumper, you know, like a decent jumper in a decent game.
His 3 ball has gotten a lot better.
Right.
In the past, like, not just this season. In the past, like, I would say like maybe 3-4 seasons ago, he really started shooting the 3 ball more, and it's gotten better. But I mean, it's Blake, and Blake is still Blake. Like, you can say what you want, the injury might have took away some of his athleticism and all that, but look at who his teammates are. He has Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden on the same team. Right. It's not like Blake is going to Brooklyn.
He's not doing much. He's not gonna be doing much. He's gonna be rebounding.
He's not going to Brooklyn to be the number
open
1 option.
Jumper.
He's going to hit some corner threes, to run some pick and rolls and catch some lobs here and there, and like get rebounds. That's all he's doing. He's not going there.
Right. You think he's gonna be starting, and he's gonna be like a 6-man role?
Well, when I was looking at it, and I was looking this one article I was reading on CBS Sports, they were saying that the Nets plan to use him as the small ball center off the bench.
Oh, so kind of like a Draymond Green, like for Golden State back.
Yeah,
a couple years back.
Not starting off the bench. They're still gonna start DeAndre Jordan.
Oh, I thought you just said like he's gonna. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But like a 4th quarter lineup.
I mean, yeah,
small ball line.
4th quarter lineup, I could see them. Well, no, he'll run the 4 because they'll put DeAndre Jordan at the center. So
it's gonna be like a Kyrie,
DeAndre
Harden,
at the 5, Blake at the 4,
right?
KD at the 3, Harden.
I don't know though. I like Jeff Green. I like Jeff Green for them. He kind of a dog, you know.
In the 4th quarter.
Yeah,
I'm not Jeff Green over
but
Blake
he's
Griffin.
a veteran. Okay, not over no Blake. Yes.
I'll sit DeAndre Jordan.
Yes, because he can't shoot no free throws. I mean, he's getting better, but he's still.
I can see that then. Blake at the 5, Jeff Green at the 4,
Well,
KD
yeah,
at the 3.
they can shoot free throws. They're all good veterans. They rebound the ball. They play hard.
I can see that.
Yeah, no, I like the Nets squad too a little bit too much for my taste, man. I like them too much. I like the fact that Harden is more of the leading guard, you know, and Kyrie kind of like playing that shooting guard. Which
that makes him more scarier because James Harden is not a bad off the ball player, but he's better when he can facilitate and do all that. Kyrie is not the best facilitator, but playing off the ball, as we seen what he did when he was playing with LeBron, he could play off the ball. He can play off the ball. Like Harden should be the driver, and then you give it to KD whenever you want the ball. Yeah, KD can have the ball in his hands or not have the ball in his hands.
Yeah, essentially KD is like the best player when it comes to like not even having to like scheme or plan things for him because he can just be on the floor and like, hey man, throw it in a pose. Oh, pop up for 3. Oh, lay up and shit. It like essentially everything, and then nobody can stop him.
That's the scary thing about the Nets because you got 3 dudes. You got one dude that's a real good facilitator in James Harden, and he can also score. Mm-hmm. Then you got just a pure scorer in KD.
Right.
And then you got Kyrie, who's just Kyrie. So you got 3 dudes who can really, like, if you really need to at any point, you can play iso ball.
Right.
Because you got 3 dudes who can play iso ball. You got Kyrie, who basically ahead of Steph, him and Steph, the top 2 ball handlers in the league right now.
Right.
Then you got James Harden, probably one of the top ISO players in the league right now.
And
then you got KD who could just get a bucket whenever he.
Yeah, and Blake really filled up that like that bench role. Because their bench was, it was losing.
Their bench is depleted now. Dinwiddie's hurt. They had to give up Jared Allen, Taurean Prince, and I think a couple other people to get James Harden.
So now you have Blake on the bench, and then you have Harris, and you have
Harris starting. You got who else is there? DeAndre Jordan.
DeAndre Jordan. You gave up Allen. So now you have like a bunch of nobody.
I'm taking Blake Griffin over Jared Allen. I don't give a fuck how good he is and how young he is. I'm taking Blake over Jared Allen. If I'm trying to win a ring right now, and that's what you do. If you're getting KD, Kyrie, and James Harden,
right,
you're not trying to build. I can see if they still had D'Lo.
They have Bruce Brown, Landry Shamet.
He a good big man. He only 6'3", and they got him playing like the 4 and the 5.
The forward, they got him playing forward. Yeah. They Tyler Johnson. I mean, he's not gonna be playing much anymore. They got
a solid bench now.
But Larry Shamet can shoot the ball. So they got a good. Looking at it, they got a good squad, man. They got a good squad, even depleted, from what it seemed like. But they got a good fucking squad. And now Blake coming in. I expect Blake to average about maybe 10 points, 6 rebounds, 1 or 2 assists.
I'll say 13 and 8.
13 and 8.
13 and 8.
I mean,
I'll say 13 and 7.
13 and 8. I don't see that just because DeAndre is gonna get a buckload of rebounds. Harden's gonna get his rebound.
But if they use him, if all these not just his CBS Sports article, but I read a couple even from ESPN.
Right.
They're saying the Nets plan to use Blake as a small ball center off the bench.
No. I think that's a good idea. I think that's a good fucking idea.
He's coming off with the second unit.
Right.
Blake Griffin is better than Landry Shamet. He's better than Tyler Johnson. Anybody else the Nets have, Jeff Green, anyone that they have coming off that bench.
Right.
He's better than them. So he's basically going to be the number one option. Maybe even if he's not, in a sense, he's going to be the number one option on the second unit.
Yeah.
So he could fuck around and average 13 and 8. I could see that happening.
Yeah, I can see him averaging that, but there's just too many good players to go around for him to average 13 and 8. I mean, I guess 6 and 10 isn't that much far off either.
It depends.
It's 2.
No, I mean, yeah, that's probably more accurate, but it also I think it depends on how much time he's on the court with the big 3.
Yeah. I think he's going to be a lot, and I think he's going to play a pivotal fact in the fourth quarter. In the fourth quarter, in the small ball lineup against teams like Golden State, Portland, Miami, Boston, those kind of team, Blake Phoenix. Will, yeah, and Blake is nice, man. Blake got a good game, if he can just stay healthy, which I think he is, because then his workload isn't going to be the same. He's not asked to do a lot. I think he was asked to do way too much in Detroit. I know that one series, that playoff series, that man was playing his heart out. I
expect him to go be an all-star.
Right. He was the first, and I don't know if you remember when he was going up I think it was the Bucks, if I'm mistaken. He was balling. He was balling till he got that fucking knee injury, and he's kept playing on it, but man, he was averaging 30. He was putting up 30, 10, double. He was good.
Yeah, he was averaging a double, if not close to it that season.
Right.
Let's put it like this, though.
For 1.3 mil, fucking steal.
Yeah, that's a steal, because if Steve Nash,
right,
and if Mike D'Antoni, if they be smart and they do this right. Blake is going to see a lot of time eventually where he's on the court with the big 3.
Right.
But if they do it right, you have Blake on the floor with the role players, and he's the number one option. I think he's going to ball. I think he might ball.
No, I think he's going to ball too. Which is why, as a Laker fan, I'm nervous because I don't know who we're going to pick. I guess we can pick up Drummond, but then I guess that's good because fucking Marc Gasol is kind of trash.
Okay, but
Marc Gasol isn't living up to what we think he is.
But at the end of the day, when the Lakers and the Nets play in the finals, because that's most likely what's going to happen, it's going to come. Obviously, LeBron and KD are going to cancel each other out.
Mm-hmm.
You put KCP on Harden, put Wesley Matthews or Caruso on Kyrie. At the end of the day, it's going to come out to what AD and what KD does, because.
Right, but
if KD has a good series.
So you got AD, and LeBron versus KD, Kyrie, and Harden.
But who's gonna stop AD?
Who's gonna stop KD?
LeBron is gonna stick KD. LeBron is not gonna stop KD.
Bro,
LeBron's not gonna stop KD. But
yes, he's not.
But even if KD puts up 30, LeBron is gonna put up 30 himself. KD's not gonna stop LeBron.
But now you have Blake. Blake, I think, could guard AD. I mean, he's not gonna stop AD. Yeah, I know. Don't give me that look. Yeah,
Blake Griffin is not.
no, I take that back. That was
Anthony Davis is
that
gonna
was a
have-
dumb assessment. I'm not a rookie in the basketball game, okay?
Anthony
But
Davis
that
is
was
gonna have his way.
right.
with Blake
If he
Griffin.
stays,
If he stays healthy,
healthy.
Anthony Davis is having his way with any of the Nets big man. I
All
don't
right.
give
So
a
who do
fuck
you
if they
have?
get Andre
Nets or
Drummond.
Lakers in the final?
Right now, I think
Are you the type to be Lakers in 5? Lakers in 5. I know when they signed KD in the comments, it was like Lakers in 5. I'm like, fuck no, Lakers in 7 maybe.
If we're being honest, I'll say Lakers in 6. I'll say Lakers in 6.
With the current Nets roster?
I still think the Nets.
What?
It makes no sense because I'm still saying I think the Nets are the favorite, but I think Lakers in 6.
Nah, man. Not with this year Lakers squad. I think we need more shooters. Matthews,
This
kind of
squad is
on and
better
off.
than last year.
Yeah, to be honest, I didn't think last year's squad was that good. We kind of got
The squad is way better than last year. Y'all didn't get lucky. Y'all didn't get lucky.
I was hesitant.
I hate when people
I was
say
hesitant
that. I don't
on
give a
that
fuck.
word, but like
I don't give a fuck about Gordon Dragic getting hurt. I don't give a fuck about Jimmy Butler being tired for having to carry the team. The Heat were not winning that series.
Okay, so
That's like when people say, "Oh, if Kyrie and K Love didn't get hurt, the Warriors wouldn't have won that first finals. They were gonna win that series.
right.
No one was gonna stop Steph. I don't give a fuck if you put LeBron on Steph. He wasn't stopping Steph that series.
True. Okay, I respect that.
Lakers weren't winning. I mean, the Lakers weren't losing that series because no one on Miami is stopping AD. I don't give a. You could put Jimmy on LeBron.
Yeah.
You gonna put Bam on AD? And I fuck with Bam. He's a good defender too. But you gonna put Bam on AD? Come on.
No.
It's
Yeah.
not gonna work.
Or I mean,
It's not gonna work.
going back, I want to say Lakers in 7, but currently I'm leaning towards the net right now. The Nets. That's I should probably provoke all my Lakers fan.
We'll see what happens once the Lakers.
I should be provoked as a Laker fan for saying that, but I just don't see how they're gonna. I just don't see how they're gonna beat the Nets.
I was talking with someone about this, and the same thing I told him. Like that series, if the Lakers and Nets do meet in the finals,
right?
it's gonna come down to what. It's gonna come down to what AD does.
Yeah,
It's
it
not
will
gonna come down to KD.
Well,
it's not gonna come down to LeBron.
Yeah,
And even though the fact that you got to put KCP and Matthews on a Harden and Kyrie, and they still gonna cook them, it's
Right.
not gonna come down to that. It's gonna come down to AD.
no.
nobody's sticking
AD is
It's basically open season.
The factor, yes.
I don't get. You could put DeAndre Jordan, Blake Griffin, Jeff Green,
Right.
Michael Green, Tony Green. I don't give a fuck who you
But
put.
but could you eliminate KD in any sense? Like,
No,
so you think Anthony Davis playing at his best is enough to cancel out KD, and then LeBron will essentially cancel out Kyrie and Harden?
No. Here's the thing. LeBron is gonna cancel out KD because KD is gonna do what KD does, but LeBron is gonna do what LeBron does.
Right.
So you have Harden and Kyrie. They're gonna go nuts.
Okay.
But
So-
AD is really gonna be the outlier because, like I said, you put KCP, Wesley Matthews on Harden and Kyrie. So who's gonna stick Kuzma? Like people can say, no, hold on. No,
Don't even start with Kuzma.
Relax, bro. Hold on, let me finish.
He too busy fucking the
everybody
AG
writing-
model with.
Yeah,
Never
we
mind.
are,
Let's
but
not bring
Everybody
that
writing
up.
Kuzma off, but
Cause he's trash.
let him have a. He's not trash. He's
Come
inconsistent.
on,
It's a
bro.
difference. It's a difference between
Yo,
being
his
trash.
girlfriend, the IG model, do something because Kuzma's playing trash, and
It's
I
a
think
difference-
it's since y'all start dating. I'm
It's a
sorry.
difference
shouldn't
between
have said
being
that.
trash and being inconsistent. I would say he's more inconsistent.
Very inconsistent. Don't play no
Very.
defense. Can't shoot. Can't shoot on a
When
consistent.
he goes off, he goes off.
Yeah, but what?
Okay, so
You gonna sit there and hope he fucking
In
gets
a
hot?
Game series, if you got KD,
Closer
Kyrie-
down to the mic.
if you got KD, Kyrie, and Harden on one side, and then on the other side you got LeBron and AD,
Right.
you have to worry about You have to worry about Dennis Schroeder. He's gonna get.
Oh yeah. Oh shit, we forgot about Shooter. Shooter's gonna be nice. Harold.
Because I was gonna say you gotta worry about Montrez.
Yeah. You're right. Montrez will lock
even,
down.
Even if in that finals matchup they don't go off, Yeah, you put Blake on Montrez. Okay, he might shut down Montrez. Who's gonna shut down Dennis?
He's not.
Kyrie don't play defense. So
Yeah. Harden don't do that. Yeah.
James Harden.
Oh, I personally think you put Shooter on Kyrie. I think Shooter can defend.
Not gonna climb Kyrie, but
He not gonna climb him. But
Kyrie
he's better than Caruso, mate.
Kyrie get you what 25, 30 a game. We'll just say that, and Dennis Schroeder get you 17. So it won't cancel it out.
A few assists and some few rebounds, some good steals. He's all around.
Exactly.
Right.
Close.
It'll be close.
And then you got KCP and Wesley Matthews. They're shooters, so.
Still saying Nets in 7.
I don't know. I think Lakers.
Still saying Nets on 7. I'm gonna write this down. Nets.
Bet on this.
When this
Nets in.
I'm looking to the camera when I say this.
7.
When this happens, and the Lakers and the Nets play in the finals, if the Nets win,
all right,
he has to take a double shot of like.
That's easy.
Hennessy and tequila mixed together.
Oh no, I don't drink tequila.
No, I don't give a fuck what he's.
I don't
about.
drink tequila. That was like
he's taking the double shot.
That was how I got in trouble with the law.
I'm gonna force him
to take that double shot. If the Lakers win,
I drink my bourbon.
Yeah,
like an old white guy.
That was it. The Nets lose. My fault.
I sip my bourbon on a one rock.
If the Lakers lose, and I'll take a double shot of the same thing. So
all right, that's a bet. That's a bet then.
We'll shake on it.
That's a bet. Well, we cheer on it. That's a bet.
Or will that? We'll cheers on it.
That's a bet.
That's gonna be the bet. So if an NBA Finals and Nets and the Lakers play, that's what's gonna happen. I don't think the Lakers are losing.
All right. On to the next one. We're gonna talk about the big elephant in the room. The $160 million man. Our boy Dak finally got paid. You just read something right now. You want to talk about that? As to maybe that's why the contract was due today, and then we'll talk about the contract.
Yeah. So as we know, Dak got paid 4-year, $160 million, 66 guaranteed, 75 or 72 in the first year.
73
in the first year, and then for the next 3 years after that, basically around 42 million. So yeah, he got cashed out. So I have Adam Schefter. I have his notifications on.
According to Adam Schefter.
So this is from Adam Schefter. He
said the source.
Well,
He
said according to one of his sources, according to one of Adam Schefter's sources, not me. He said that the reason that this contract happened is because
closer to the Mikey.
He said the reason this contract happened is because Jerry Jones has that extra money to spend because of the new TV deal that's going to happen for the NFL. So maybe the NFL about to get cashed out and they about to start making that NBA and baseball money. Maybe we'll see. But that's just what that tweet said. It can all be speculations. It could be rumors. It could not be true, obviously. But we're going to find out when the CBA, I think the CBA is up in a couple years or in a year or so. So we'll find out pretty soon and we'll see what's going to happen.
Okay, so so we're going to talk about does he deserve the money? I'm going to say regardless of that little caveat there, I'm still going to lean towards the Dak don't deserve the money. But hey, you know what? He got paid. I'm glad he got paid. He deserved it. He put his body on the line for the team. So yeah, I'm not gonna say that he don't deserve some of the money, but I don't think he deserved the 66 million guarantee, which is essentially the highest. 66 million signing bonus, which is essentially the largest signing bonus, more than A-Rod and Russell Wilson. I don't believe that. And then the 126 million guarantee. Fuck, that's some heavy numbers. But I mean, he is their best player because when Dak Prescott was out, Zeke Elliott really showed that he could not carry the team without Dak. I was very disappointed in the way Zeke played. He played like his footing was still stuck in the Cancun's sand. That boy was, it was looking like he was running uphill on a sand dune or something. He was still probably off that tequila from Mexico, and he was drunk as fuck because he was still fumbling the ball. He didn't fumble the back because he got his money, but he fumbled the ball after he received the back. So
Let's take a look real quick at all the quarterbacks, all the 15 quarterbacks that was in the 2016 draft class.
Okay.
I'm gonna list them for you real quick. So
all right.
This is I just went on SB. I looked it up. I googled it real quick.
Okay.
I just went on SB Nation, so it has tiers for us.
Okay.
So here's tier 1. This is the franchise quarterbacks.
Okay.
Carson Wentz, number 1.
Uh-huh.
Number 2, Jared Goff. Number 3, Dak.
What?
That's tier 1. So then tier 2 is Jacoby Brissett by himself. It's just a quarterback worth grooming. That's tier 2.
Mm-hmm.
Then tier 3, the solid NFL backups.
Jeff Driscoll, Nate Sudfeld, Cody Kessler. Then you got Cardale Jones, Jake Rudock,
Right.
Brandon Allen, Kevin Hogan from Stanford,
Mm-hmm.
Paxton Lynch, who my Broncos drafted, who was a bust. Then you got Connor Cook.
Major bust.
Yeah, major bust. Then you got Connor Cook in tier 5, the LOL Nope tier. Connor Cook, Christian Hackenberg, Brandon Doty, and that's about it.
Right.
Look at who came in that class, and look at who got paid more than Dak. Both of those people in that first tier got paid more than Dak.
Whoa, no. Calm down.
I don't know about Carson.
Yes.
Jared Goff for sure got paid.
Okay, they got paid, but they got paid before him.
They shouldn't have got paid before him, and they shouldn't have got paid more than what he was asking before. They shouldn't have got paid before him, and they shouldn't have got paid more than what he was asking for at the time that they got paid. They should have got paid less.
No. Yes. The fucking Jerry Jones really fucked up because he could have essentially offered him the contract the same time when Goff and Wentz got his contract, because he would have gotten him for a little bit more of a discount than what he has to do now, because the market is raised since Deshaun and Pat signed their. Yeah. So he fucked up there.
No. The market was raised once Jared Goff signed 2 years ago.
Right. Yeah.
Pat Mahomes wouldn't have got $500 million if Jared Goff didn't get whatever the fuck the Rams gave him. They gave him a shit ton.
Which is a shit ton. Yes, he definitely got overpaid. Yeah.
He got overpaid by a lot. Why do you think they traded him to Detroit?
Yeah,
He got overpaid by a lot.
No, I agreed. I'm just saying.
Mahomes wouldn't have got $500 million if Jared Goff didn't get whatever the fuck the Rams gave him, and Dak wouldn't have been asking for $45 a year if Jared Goff didn't get whatever the fuck the Rams gave him.
So, you know what?
Even Carson Wentz just got paid, but he got the MVP.
Okay.
He's been hurt.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's the $66 million signing bonus. I mean, that's more than Russell Wilson. Now, we're not gonna put him in the same stratosphere as Russ. You know, like he's top 10, but he's not top 5.
No, he's not. He's
getting
top,
more.
like top 8.
He's getting more signing bonus than A-Rod.
Okay,
you know, for a guy who had an outstanding first season as a rookie, right? But then after that, you can argue, if you really look at the average record, like, he's a 500 quarterback.
The team record declined, but his stats didn't. His stats went up.
Right, but are we gonna go off on just stats alone, or are we gonna go off on team success? Because I thought team success was kind of like a big deal too.
So if we're gonna go off of team success, let's put stuff into perspective. Then we're comparing him. Who we just comparing?
Wait, get lower. Or pull that up. Pull it up a little bit more.
Let's put things in perspective, though. We're talking about team success, right?
Yeah, right there.
So who we compared him to Russ, and we compared him to who else? Deshaun,
Russ.
Give me the quarterbacks we're putting.
Pat
Mahomes.
We can talk about A-Rod,
Aaron Rodgers,
right?
Jared Goff.
No, I'm not gonna put Jared Goff in there. What the fuck?
We was talking about him.
I mean, I guess we can put Baker. Okay, I mean, why did I say Baker? I think Baker's.
Oh shit! Even Kyler Murray. Let me just. All right, Kyler Murray.
Right.
Cliff Kingsbury. Pat Mahomes, Andy Reid, Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll. Who else? Baker, Kevin Stefanski.
Right.
Almost said Josh Rosen. Jerry Goff, Sean McVay.
Right.
That was Deshaun Watson. Outside of Deshaun Watson, because he had bum ass Bill O'Brien.
Right.
All of these quarterbacks that we're comparing Dak to not only had solid teams all around, even the Seahawks, they still made it to the playoffs, still made it to the second round.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
The Cardinals didn't even make it to the playoffs, but that's just, they're still a young team. But outside of Deshaun Watson, all these quarterbacks we're comparing Dak to have coaches. They have a solid team.
That's true. That's true. That's a good argument. Yeah.
Super Bowl, and the whole thing before Week 11 last season, when the Chiefs won the Super Bowl, the whole thing was, are the Chiefs really going to win the Super Bowl? They don't have a defense. And after Week 11, their defense when you got Steve Spagnuolo, when you got these good coaches as your coordinators, their defense stepped up.
True.
So like,
yeah, okay. You kind of changed my mind. I just
had Jason Garrett and fucking Wade Phillips as a DC, and then had Mike McCarthy, a pushover as a coach.
So you think he's okay? So he signed a big deal, right? So every single time you sign a big deal, you always want to kind of like, not always, but you want to live up to that contract. So with everything you said, kind of like putting Dak back against the fence, you know, with the coaches and all that. Yes, he has horrible fucking coaches. O-line's kind of horrible. Defense bad, because then, you know, they're always going to be on the sideline. He has to come in and like really get hot quick.
Exactly.
Do you think he's gonna have a successful season next year then? Like, will he live up to the money, or will we always speak about Dak as in a way of like, just a bunch of excuses? They're valid excuses. They're valid excuses